Now you can get free shipping on the storable, easy-to-fix, delicious food from efoodsdirect.com. From July 4th through July 14th, we have looming evacuations in the Southeast, unemployment insurance running out, and predictions of huge inflation. So we all need to get as much food as we can. Every one of you needs to buy as much storable food as possible. This is the perfect time to do just that with eFoods Direct and take advantage of their free shipping special. When you order from efoodsdirect.com from July 4th through July 14th, every dollar you spend will buy the food, and eFoods Direct will pay for the shipping in the continental United States. This is Alex Jones wishing you and your family true independence this 4th of July with great food and free shipping through July 14th from efoodsdirect.com. You can order on the website efoodsdirect.com or simply call 800-409-5633. That's 800-409-5633 or on the web at efoodsdirect.com/ship free. The Fall of America and the Western World is an all-new 10-hour documentary and survival guide rolled into one. In this film, you will see the reasons why our government is failing and what you can do to prepare. Featuring Dr. Paul Craig Roberts, Joseph Farah, David Icke, Naomi Wolf, G. Edward Griffin, Doug McIntyre, Mark Crispin Miller, Mickey Z, Doug Casey, David McElvaney, and myself, Alex Jones. Protect yourself and get the tools you need to protect your family from these difficult times. The Fall of America and the Western World at www.thefallofamerica.net or click on the banners at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. Again, that website's www.thefallofamerica.net or call 800-655-1577. Prepare yourself and the ones you love today. Fallofamerica.net. Hi folks, this is Alex Jones, and I want to tell you about the Silver Lungs generator. Now you can produce pure and endless colloidal silver and deliver the solution directly into the bloodstream by breathing the solution through the lungs. The respiratory system is the first line of defense for airborne pathogens and viruses. The Silver Lungs generator infuses the respiratory system with your self-produced nano-silver solutions and also delivers the silver nanoparticles instantly into the bloodstream. With continued legislation threatening the sale of nano-silver products, you can now produce pure and endless colloidal silver with the Silver Lungs generator. Very easy to follow, step-by-step instructions are provided, making production fast and simple. Go to www.silverlungs.com today and learn more about the breakthrough technology of the Silver Lungs generator. That's www.silverlungs.com.
Trouble so hard.
Well, Ted Nugent is joining us here in just a moment. Can't wait to talk to him about a host of issues. But first off, don't forget that we are supported not by these big global corporations or the New World Order or the socialists. We're supported by you, the listeners. The news websites, Infowars.com, PrisonPlanet.com, the syndicated radio broadcast, the films I make. And plus, these videos are what are waking this country up. All available at Infowars.com. The Obama deception, Endgame, Blueprint for Global Enslavement, The Secret of Oz, exposing the private Federal Reserve System, Don't Tread on Me with Sheriff Richard Mack, and how we're going to take our states back. Key information that every sheriff needs to see. Invisible Empire, A New World Order Defined. It's all available at Infowars.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139. You can also write to us at P.O. Box 19549, Austin, Texas 78760. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are joined by Ted Nugent. I don't need to really introduce him. Everybody knows who Ted Nugent is. But his latest book was a #1 New York Times bestseller. Ted Nugent, Red, White, and Blue, and we really appreciate him joining us, the Nugent Manifesto. And he's also on tour right now. The website is tednugent.com. And Ted, it is great to have you here with us.
Yeah, back at you, Alex. Greetings from the Nugent family and certainly the band and my crew and all my guides and outfitters and all my hunting and fishing and trapping and NRA blood brothers out there. We bring you a salute for staying true to logic, common sense, self-evident truth in the American way. You're doing God's work, man. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Ted. Before we get into all the things that are happening with Barry Soetoro, a.k.a. Barack Obama, the Arizona situation, before we get into all of that, the oil spill, you name it, tell us about the book that that, of course, is a #1 New York Times bestseller, now coming out in paperback.
Well, I wrote Ted White and Blue, the Nugent Manifesto, a few years ago as an ongoing attempt, and a successful one on my part, to raise hell, to actually have the audacity to participate in this sacred experiment in self-government. I believe, Alex, that what is in the pages of Ted White and Blue, the Nugent Manifesto, and certainly what you do on the radio every day, and what more and more people are waking up to the reality of, is that in order to earn your Americanism, you have to actually participate and be engaged in this very responsible and very critical duty of an experiment in self-government. I realized way back in the 60s when I was attacked on hippie rock and roll radio for not doing their drugs and not drooling and puking like all the other zombie tips out there, and they would attack me for carrying a gun and believing in self-defense and hunting and fishing and trapping and all these perfect environmental positives that the Nugent family celebrates, that I realized that, boy, the left are brain dead. They're dangerous. They literally celebrate the bad and the evil while I try to maximize the good. So I started maximizing the good in an attempt to destroy the bad and the ugly. And it's been very successful because I got to tell you, Alex, I'm a gregarious guy. I travel this country. We have an incredible tour right now. 50 years later, it's called Trample the Weak, Hurdle the Dead. I got the greatest band in the world. We're selling out every night all these years later. And the positive energy, the goodwill, the decency, the logic that Alex Jones represents, the logic that is in Ted White and Blue, the Nugent Manifesto, and in my weekly articles on humanevents.com and washingtontimes.com, that I'm not the weirdo. The left are the weirdo. History has proven that everything Barack Obama stands for and is implementing has destroyed societies 100% of the time. But if you continue to placate and try to cuddle with the pimps and the whores and the welfare brats, that people will be inclined to vote for politicians who will give stuff to the pimps and the whores and the welfare brats. So Ted White and Blue, the Nugent Manifesto, is a battle cry to bring the good forward and to celebrate the most productive American families there are, while we crush the bad and the ugly of Barack Hussein Obama and his legions of pimps, whores, and welfare brats.
Well, expanding on that, liberty and freedom and building our republic and saving it from the jaws of collectivism and globalism, this is not a spectator sport. And that's what's so good about you, Ted, is I know you've been persecuted, but it didn't make you cry and go into the shadows. It didn't make you sell out to these people. You stood up to them and became even more successful, despite the fact in the last 3 decades that you didn't submit to their propaganda and brainwashing. And as you said, you have now succeeded doing it your way as a true American, whereas they have failed. You are popular. Your message is stronger now, not weaker. Their message is weakening by the day. They are bleeding out like some wildcat that Ted Nugent's just blasted.
Well, for years I've been attacked as being an extremist and a radical and out of control, and to all those accusations I would like to plead live on the Alex Jones radio show, you're damn right. You're damn right I'm an extremist. I'm extremely free. I'm not kind of free. I don't kind of have individual rights. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, John Paul Stevens, Sonia Sotomayor, you racist punk, Stephen Breyer, these subhuman anti-American punks in black robes in the Supreme Court of the United States who actually wrote, Alex, help me through this. If I have an aneurysm on your radio show, send someone to resuscitate me. Because we have 4 Americans, and I'm being generous with the term, who have actually written a Supreme Court statement that American citizens have no fundamental right to self-defense. They didn't even say Second Amendment or keep and bear arms. These 4 subhuman Supreme Court punks don't believe that American citizens have a basic right to self-defense. I'm a creative guy, Alex. I'm an imaginative guy. I not only wrote Wang Dang Sweet Poontang, I mean it every night when I sing it. But my creative juices pale and come to a screeching halt, trying to come up with something more offensive, more anti-human than four punk anti-justices on the Supreme Court who don't think American citizens have the right to self-defense. I recommend they dial 1-800-EAT-ME.
Ted Nugent, I mean, this really is an act of treason, of sedition. It's so dangerous.
Treason, absolutely.
I mean, Obama is now going to probably get a couple more justices in, and instead of them ruling that we have a limited Second Amendment, which is bad enough, they're going to rule we have no right. And we know Attorney General Holder, in cases, has argued that he believes in the UN's policy that Bill Clinton signed on to with the UNIDIR documents and the UN treaty, that no citizen is allowed to have any firearm, and that only the state can own guns as a, quote, power monopoly. That's a quote, the power monopoly of the state. These people really are Joe Stalin, Adolf Hitler.